This is episode technically 13,
But we were
but
supposed to
12
do it as 12, yeah.
because
Episode 11 was a two-parter.
yeah, episode 11 was a two-parter.
Yeah.
This is the
You're Being Too Loud podcast.
thank you, because my brain clearly
I
is
saw
not
you struggle
working.
for a second. Your host Taylor is struggling right now.
Taylor
So
needs
co-host
coffee.
DJ is, gonna try to. I'm fucking struggling right now too. Oh my god. Try to reel this shit in. I don't fucking know.
Anyways, this is episode 12. You're Being Too Loud podcast. I'm your host Taylor. That is your co-host DJ. Today we're gonna be talking. Correction. DJ's been wanting to talk about this for a very long time.
Yeah.
Our
My
hospital
experience with it.
stories, because we
Yeah.
each have a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know which one should start.
I don't know. Should we go chronological order or
2015 for me.
2019 for me? I mean,
Okay.
technically, I could say like 2000, like fucking 4.
I could technically say like
probably way
2002, but that was for getting my adenoids and tonsils removed, and I barely remember it.
Mine was just for like I had a really bad ear infection as a kid, and my mom took me to the hospital in the middle of the night, and I just remember doing that. And then on the way home, we got donuts. That's all I remember.
I got ice cream. That's all I remember is I ate ice cream for like a week.
Man, I love them donuts. But other than that, I don't think I had been to the hospital since 2019.
Yeah. My big ones were in 2015. I guess we should start like the summer of 2015. That was a time. Can we just admit that was some bomb ass music?
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I enjoyed summer of 2015 a lot.
I don't know. Me, I don't even remember what I was doing.
Working that summer. Was that the summer that I was working a lot?
Maybe.
I think that was. No, that was 2016.
That you were working a lot?
Yeah, 2015 I didn't have a job yet because I was still a minor and I was getting ready to go to college for my first time. So it was really hard to get a job that would accept me for like literally 3 months and then me heading off to college and everything. And so it was like, I want to say like mid-July when this happened. But I was having like a lot of like cramping. I wouldn't even call it cramping. It was like painful, but I like thought that it was cramping issues. And so it was getting like really, really bad, where to the point where like I hadn't slept in like 3 days. I was getting delirious. Yeah, it was really, really bad. And like I hadn't really like, I told my mom, but like we both just assumed that it was like cramps. And so I took like Advil and everything. And then
normal.
And then I want to say at like 2:30 in the morning just started screaming in agony. And I was on FaceTime with my ex. Did he never tell you this?
My best friend?
Yes.
I don't think he did. I don't think he told me this.
Yeah, so I was on FaceTime with him. And I started like screaming in pain. My mom comes in and I'm like hunched over like in the fetal position, just in like excruciating pain. And I'm like crying And my mom's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, I literally feel like my like stomach is on fire. Like it feels like right like in your diaphragm area. I was like, I literally feel like I'm being burned. Well, fun facts, I was. I
What
was
was your
actually
acid? Like the acid from the stomach burn?
yeah. So they took me to the hospital and that was the first time I ever had morphine. And because they asked me what my pain was, and I said 8.5 to a 9. I was like so delirious by that point from lack of sleep and then pain. And so they gave me morphine, and my mom called my dad to let my dad know that I was at the hospital. And by that point, by the time she finally got a hold of my dad, because it was like 2:30 in the morning and he was asleep.
Yeah.
And my little brothers were like kids, so they were still like toddlers. So my dad and stepmom were still running on like no sleep basically. And so my mom finally gets a hold of him and he's like, what's going on? She goes, well, she's asleep right now. Like they gave her morphine and she like knocked the fuck out. I woke up, apparently had some conversation with my dad while I was awake on morphine. I don't remember it.
So, all right, okay. So you could have just been talking about randomest shit ever. Did your dad
Apparently
remember?
I was talking about the most random shit ever. Like, I asked my dad to this day what I talked about. He goes, I have no fucking clue. He was like, you were just rambling.
You were probably talking about anime and shit like that. Just like, yeah, fairy tales, like, you know, this.
Yeah, probably something about anime. Let's be completely honest.
It might have been.
But they do tests and everything, and they do all these different tests on me. And at the age of 16, I was diagnosed with a bleeding ulcer.
That's fun. That is fun. Oh no. Well, what? Okay, but like, what was
Do
it?
you think stress caused it?
Okay. Nothing you was like eating or anything? No, just stress?
That's other than that, I was completely healthy. The things that I had eaten before then, like I had to like cut a lot of things out of my diet for the first little bit. Like I couldn't have coffee anymore. I had to be very careful about like any acidic foods that I ate or any basic foods that I ate. I had certain medicine that I had to take before and after I ate food. I had certain medicine that I had to take if I had any sort of flare up. So fun little facts is that with bleeding ulcers, they never go away.
Oh, so you still have to deal with that to this day then?
Yeah, but it's a lot more manageable now. Basically, a good portion of my stomach lining has healed itself. Where I still have it and I can have a flare up, but I don't have to monitor what I'm eating as much anymore, which is really cool.
Is that at least coming a long way, you know?
Yeah, but so like that was that story. Like that's literally all that happened. They did that and they were like, cool, we don't know how this happened or like what really caused this, but like this is what you have, and like just kind of set me off packing. So
is there nothing else to really do for it?
No, not really.
The fuck? That's so fucked.
So this leads into it's the first week of college. I'm a freshman and my campus allowed me to move in a week earlier than classes started so that like we could get settled in and everything and yada yada yada. 3 days after moving in, my roommate is taking me to the hospital.
You had a flare up?
I'm bleeding. I am throwing up blood and I am uncontrollably leaking blood out of another hole.
The fuck? The fuck? What's going on?
So she takes me to the hospital. We tell the lady there that I'm throwing up blood and I am actively bleeding. They put me in a diaper, DJ. And they make... I'm not even joking.
I mean, that's understandable though.
Especially because I was leaking on the floor.
Bruh, on like the hospital, like fucking like waiting room floor. Bro.
Well, no, but here's the thing. So medically speaking, that's actually really, really fucking bad. I could have
Yeah.
been internally bleeding.
Yeah.
They made me sit in that waiting room for 4.5 hours. It was long enough that I was still in the waiting room when my mom drove from her job all the way down to bumfuck nowhere, Virginia.
The fuck?
And I was still in the waiting room. Yeah. And I was still a minor.
How busy were they?
Not that it's not even, it has nothing to do with how busy they were. I should have immediately been taken back because I was actively bleeding.
Yeah.
They let a guy go in front of me who had a broken hand.
Okay, yeah.
He had a guy came in with a severed finger and they made him wait.
Huh?
Yeah.
Wait. You said the finger was severed and they made him wait, but the person with broken hand gotta go first as well, and then you also had to wait even though you were constantly bleeding. What's wrong with this hospital? I mean,
so they take me back. I'm not in a lot of pain, I will say.
Yeah.
So they don't give me morphine this time. My mom calls my dad and goes, well, she had called my dad on the way down to let him know that she was coming to see me because I was in the hospital again. He goes, okay, call me when you get there. She calls my dad when I get there. And he goes, so you're in the hospital again, huh? And I go, yeah. Fine. And so that ends up with a slew because they didn't know what was wrong with me. They didn't know why. Still to this day, I have no idea why I was puking up blood or
so
blood.
They determined it wasn't the ulcer or anything like that?
They said it wasn't the ulcer. It was not flaring up. I went to so many different GI doctors during that time period that it was ridiculous. They were like, the amount of telescopes that I've had go down my throat and nose and...
Do you get put under for that or no?
No, they don't. It's very uncomfortable.
You just like stuck with something like basically fucking like it's how do you breathe during that situation?
So it's like they put the microscope in along with like a breathing. It's weird.
To help you breathe?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's a very intrusive process, but okay.
Very intrusive. It's not fun. I do not recommend.
Yeah.
But my dad came down for a lot of those ones because once again, I was still a minor.
Yeah. That's crazy. You were a minor in college. That's
Well,
you were what, 16, 17 in college?
16 in college, yeah.
Fuck you.
It still took me 5 years to get a degree.
Look here, you overachiever, okay?
I would not call that overachieving. I would call that wanting to get the fuck out.
You still got out of college then at 21. If it took you 5 years.
Yeah, I did.
That's still earlier than most people that graduate at 22.
Yeah.
or more. Like,
I would have been 21 no matter what when I graduated college, though.
mm-hmm.
Just because of where my birthday lies and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I guess. Yeah. Well,
yeah, I still would have been
graduation's
21.
usually in May, though.
Huh?
Graduation's usually in May, though.
It took me 5 years, DJ.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if you had graduated high school or whatever, and I mean, like, not, did you graduate early?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you had
I graduated
at
a year
17,
early.
yeah, if you had graduated at 17, 5 years, you would have been 22.
Anyways, back to the story. I'm tired of trying to do mental math. So 2 weeks later,
Yeah.
I ended up in the hospital again.
Oh my God, child.
This time because I was assaulted by my stalker.
I feel like
he bit me so hard that we thought that I needed stitches.
He bit you?
Yes.
A stalker bit you?
Yes.
Did he have rabies? Was it a dog stalker? Like, what kind of stalker
no, this is a human male.
Who the fuck just bites somebody?
Were they on bath salts?
The fuck were they? Is this in Florida?
No! This is in Virginia.
Virginia or West Virginia?
No, Virginia.
Oh my fucking God, the state of lovers. The fucking state of lovers.
So we went back because we thought that I needed stitches. I did not.
You needed to be checked for fucking rabies.
I did press charges. Well, I should say my mom pressed charges.
Because you were a minor?
Because I was a minor. He then proceeded to go on and assault a bunch of other women. He didn't bite them. He just
did other things.
Not a good guy. He was like, he slept with this one girl and then tried to stay in her room so that he could watch her roommate. Like, pretended to be asleep so that he could watch her roommate, like, change and get ready for the day.
Dude's a fucking creep.
He stole my fish.
What kind of fish do you have?
So in college, in my dorm room, I had a beta fish named Mufasa.
Okay.
DJ, he didn't steal the fish tank. And my dorm room was locked. And you want to know how I know that he did this?
Yeah.
Because one of my friends was in the all boys like dorm that he was also in, and he was hanging out with his roommate because him and my stalker's roommate were friends. Because when you're a freshman, you don't get to choose who your roommate is.
Mm-hmm.
Or you don't really know people to be able to choose, I should say. And so, I'm sorry, I can't say this with a straight face. But I need you to know this is so fucking true. He walked in and like my friend was sitting there and was like, oh, hey, dude, like just being nice because like he was in his room.
Yeah.
And the dude reaches into his pocket, cups, and pulls out the fish and throws it on his desk. It's dead at this point.
Why do all... What?
I had to buy so many clothes, specifically underwear, because this dude would like break into my dorm's laundry room, go into my dryer whenever I was like washing my clothes, and just grab handfuls of my clothes and run out of the building.
What? Why was this man not kicked off at campus?
He was eventually.
Why did it take so long? Dude's a fucking creep. Like,
because when I went to Title crying when he bit me because I had like the medical report and also the literal bite mark on my arm.
Yeah.
They were like, okay, well, we can't like really deny you. But when I came to them and said he stole my clothes and he stole my fish, they were like, no.
Why no? Like, what?
It wasn't until more girls started coming up to them and going, he tried to like watch me undress. He stole this from me. Like, he just was, I don't know what like disconnected in his head. But when we went to court, his dad actually his dad was there.
Mm-hmm.
And the judge like asked him and he was like, asked like the kid and he was like, you have all of these people here to testify for you that like this isn't who you are as a person. What the fuck happened, basically? Yeah. And he was just kind of like, I don't know, I have freedom now.
How little freedom did you have living at home?
I don't know, but his dad apologized.
What you do with your freedom?
I don't know. His dad apologized to me and I was just kind of like, I don't know what to say to you, so I'm just gonna leave.
The fuck?
Because I was a minor, DJ.
What the fuck is your kid on, bro?
Anyways, so then we jump forward to October.
Bro, this is all the same fucking year?
Oh, this is all within the same semester. The stalker and the 2 hospital trips all happened within 1 month.
I'm surprised you stayed at that school.
Now do you see why I left?
Yeah, but I'm surprised you finished out that semester. I wouldn't.
Okay, at some point we'll do a whole other episode where I could talk about like my roommate and everything from my first year, because that's a whole story. We'll do that one later.
Fuck is wrong?
Bro, my first year of college was wild. It's like I wish I never experienced it.
Fuck.
So we fast forward to October.
Yeah.
And so I need to preference this with, when I was a child, I was allergic to eggs and chocolate and milk and a bunch of other things. And then I outgrew it by the time I was like in middle school. And I was perfectly fine. So we had me and my best friend at the time, Raina. Me and her would study together because I was practically living in her dorm room at this time because things with my roommate were that bad.
Mm-hmm.
And so we would take breaks from studying and we'd go to Lane, our late night like snack thing, which basically our cafeteria did this like midnight snack thing, and they would close at like 2 a.m. or something. Yeah. So we'd always go around like 12 when the midnight snacks first started. And by midnight snacks, I mean we went there and we got an omelet.
That's not a snack. That's a meal, bro. That's not a snack at all. That is a fucking meal.
They made some really good omelets. I'm not even gonna hold you.
But that's not a snack. Why are you calling it a snack? It's not a snack. You go to IHOP and like, hey, I want the snack option of the fucking omelet supreme or whatever the fuck it is. Like, what? Do you see omelets just chilling at fucking like grocery stores already fucking made and shit? No, you don't. It's not a snack. What the fuck?
So we go one night, we go and get our omelets. Perfectly fine. Nothing wrong. I feel perfectly fine.
Uh-huh.
The next night we go, we eat an omelet. I'm sitting there. I'm like, something doesn't feel right. I was like, my throat's kind of scratchy, but also the season's changing. It's October. I'm like, okay, maybe I'm just getting like some sort of cold and it's just starting to kick in because like it's really late. I look at her and go, hey, can we just go back to the dorm? I'm not feeling too good right now. Like something's off. She goes, yeah, no problem. So me, the guy that I was with at the time, and I use quotation marks because he had a girlfriend that I did not know about. Like I said, my first year of college was wild.
Wild as shit, yeah.
And so we're all walking back to the dorm room, and I start to like get like really scratchy, and I start like coughing and wheezing and everything. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And so I do what any 16-year-old girl does when they don't know what's going on and they're slightly scared. I called my mom.
Yep. Fucking knew it. Called your mom. Who
proceeded to cuss me out.
Because you ate eggs.
I was in anaphylactic shock.
Yeah. Dipshit. Jesus Christ. Why did you think you could, like, I realized it went away, but, like, why would you, like, it could still come back.
Because I had been eating eggs and chocolate and everything for years at that point. It was, like, literal years that I was eating all of that, and I'd never had a reaction.
Did you never have, like, an EpiPen or anything like that, just in case?
I hadn't had an EpiPen since I was a child for it. Like, the last EpiPen that I had was literally for kids. Like, me and my mom found it when we were cleaning out my bathroom closet.
Yeah.
After I, like, officially moved out and everything. It was literally... Yeah, so that... Okay. Anyways, but literally, so it wasn't... You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My doctor told me that, like, I was fine and that, like, I had to have done an allergy test to be determined not, like, allergic anymore. And so there was, like, no reaction, nothing. He goes, well, this sometimes happens. People just grow out of their allergies. He goes, you're good. And I had gone to my 7-year checkup because that's basically, he's like, every 7 years they can change. And I was still good. So I didn't think anything of it. I had eaten one the night before, was perfectly fine, ate one again, anaphylactic shock. And so we were like, well, you're not allergic to eggs. So I call my mom, and my mom goes, very calmly, she goes, go to the nurses, like, station. They'll be able to help you. We go there, there's nobody there, and there's not a number for us to call. So we start walking back towards the dorm. And I call my mom, and I'm telling her, and I'm like, they aren't there. And I'm, like, coughing because, like, I'm dying. Yeah. But my mom still hasn't let me know that I'm dying yet.
Yeah. She's like, you're going to be all right. You'll be okay.
She hasn't told me that I'm literally in the process of dying yet.
She doesn't even know she's going to die here in a second. There's no sense of urgency or anything.
So she goes, how far are you from your dorm? And I go, not far at all. I'm, like, literally looking at it. And she goes, okay, give your phone to your friends. And I hand my phone over to my friend Raina. And my mom apparently starts cussing Raina out. Call a fucking ambulance! My daughter is dying! Like, what the fuck? And she's like...
I feel like that would have been the first thing that I do rather than go to the nurse's station.
Well, the nurse's station has an EpiPen.
Does it?
At colleges, they're supposed to.
Yeah, exactly. But there's also supposed to be people there at the nurse's station.
And there weren't.
Yeah, exactly.
And nobody answered the 24-hour number. So, like, whatever. And so Raina calls an ambulance and I get picked up. And they stab me with the EpiPen. And they're, like, forcing my head in between my legs. And, like, trying just to, because I had started getting dizzy and everything. So they're, like, forcing me to, like, lay down and, like, kind of stay down and everything. And they're like, how are you feeling? And so we're going through it. And I literally sit there for a good, like, 10 minutes before I finally start to feel like I can fully breathe again. Mind you, I still don't know what's going on.
You still are oblivious to you dying almost? The hell?
So the EMS people come in, and my friend goes, she's over there, she's like, it's bad.
Yeah.
I think that, like, there's just something wrong. And they stabbed me with the EpiPen. But remember, DJ, I've never been stabbed with an EpiPen that I can remember. The last time I went into anaphylactic shock, I was a literal toddler.
Yeah. So
not even a toddler. I guess I was a toddler. I was around, like, 1.5 when it happened. And it's because I drank milk, and that's how they found out that I was allergic to a lot of things. So they sat me and they go, "How are you feeling? Do you feel like you can breathe?" And I go, "Yeah, I feel like I can breathe and everything." They put me on a gurney because I have to go to the hospital
Yeah, to get checked out.
to get checked out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
As they're wheeling me out of my dorm room in a gurney, the RA is hounding me going, "Did you call them? You weren't supposed to call them. You were supposed to come to me and call and have me call them. That's not how it's supposed to work. You're not going to sue the school, right?"
Bitch, what? You're worried about all of that right now? Rather than, is
So
she
I
okay?
will say they were worried because literally like 2 weeks before that, a girl did die on campus from anaphylactic shock because she was highly allergic to oranges. And so they were told basically like you cannot have oranges in the cafeteria.
Yeah.
And they had oranges in the cafeteria. Like somebody could have peeled one and she would have went into anaphylactic shock. That's how allergic she was, and that's what happened. And she died on campus. But that I think that's why they were
so
really shocked because that's twice within 2 months of each other that somebody's going into anaphylactic shock at the school.
Wait, so hold on. Did the parents sue?
I don't know.
Because, like, what the fuck? And hold on, though. But also, still, who was at the nurse's station? And why are they not fired? What the fuck? Like, the school shouldn't be. Well, I mean, the school should definitely be sued. But, like, the fucking nurse's station, like, they should go to jail. Fuck you. You killed them.
Yeah, so
And the cafeteria, I guess, too. Damn, bro. What the fuck? Shit,
and
that school was fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad.
And then but yeah, so I ended up in the hospital for that one. I had to get monitored and everything, and then I had to go and get stabbed by a bunch of different things and get EpiPens and all that fun stuff. So that was that time that I ended up in the hospital. I ended up in the hospital again another time because I was trying to clean, like when we moved into our current house. Actually, hold on, I'm missing one. In like 2017, 2018, around one of those years, I went to a festival with a bunch of friends and I was really messed up. And one of my friends offered me a chocolate bar while I was really messed up. So
Another anaphylactic shock thing? Or is that what's going on here?
Yeah, I didn't go into like full anaphylactic shock, but I ended up in the med tent to be monitored.
Did they have EpiPens?
They had EpiPens. I just downed a bunch of Benadryl. And then we'll go into your 2019 story because my next two are after we moved into this house, so it's after you.
Okay, I don't know if I can follow those up. I only have one trip, so.
I told you I have a lot of grippy socks.
Yeah, you really do. I only have the one, so this is gonna be. But mine's more so. So mine's just it's for mental shit. It's not for like actual like physical harm done to me or anything like that.
Okay, can we really say the physical, other than the one story, can we really say that it was physical harm done to me or my body trying to off me?
I mean, you physically harmed yourself inside, you know?
Hey! Not on purpose!
You ate eggs and then you ate chocolate. What do you mean?
The chocolate one I'll give you. The eggs one, I didn't know. Literally no.
Okay. But
it's so like, no, but DJ, it really is. It's weird because the day before I had the exact same omelet and I was okay.
I think it's weird though that like that a doctor hadn't given you like an EpiPen just in case. Because if they're like every 7 years allergies can change, bitch, it's and you got tested and shit like that. But I mean like still like just in case, give an EpiPen or something.
I don't know. I'm still not allowed to get the flu shot, even when I wasn't allergic for that reason. So maybe I should have just had an EpiPen on me. the flu shot when we were like kids, I don't know if it's still the same or not. I just don't get it anymore. Was
I mean,
egg-based.
it changes every year, but
Huh?
it changes every year, but what?
No, but the formula for it was egg-based.
Oh, it's egg-based? What the hell?
Yeah. So
That's
like
weird.
I don't know if it's still that way or if they've changed it now, but my doctor still won't let me get it because the ones that are at least injected into your arm are egg-based. If it's any sort of egg-based vaccine, I can't get it.
Was the COVID one egg-based? It wasn't? Okay. Well, all right.
Trigger warning. Preferencing this with if you need help. There are people that you can call.
Yeah, call that 1-800
like
number.
DJ, you have a friend like me who will threaten their ex.
Well, okay, so hold on. It wasn't even okay. So, where do I even start with this one? That's the thing.
No.
Like, do I start from like when I moved up there, or do I start from like just that fucking like what like happened in those moments?
Well, we already did the whole you moving up there thing. That's
with yeah, I moved. So, yeah, moving up there, you know, had recently broke up with whatever my year-long ex, and then I was there for like I don't know 4 months, something like that.
Why is this one baby hair so long?
I don't know when the last time you got cut.
Anyways, yes, you move up there.
I think I was there for like 3-4 months. I had visited my family like twice, I think, for like a week at a time or something like that. So like going back to an empty house by myself was very depressing because I grew up in a big family. At least my immediate family was big. You know, having 4 sisters and fucking then like at the time like another fucking person that's like a sister, and then a brother that's or somebody that's like a brother, and all this other.
I was gonna say I was always around, so
yeah, like so it was visiting my family to then going back to an empty ass fucking apartment where I work 60 to 70 hours a week, not having really any time to do anything for myself.
And you
I'm
were
like,
working night shifts, right?
yeah, I worked night shifts. So I worked from 3 to 1. And then afterwards, I would go to the gym for 2 hours, hit up Walmart for grocery shopping, and then go home and, I don't know, play a game for like maybe an hour while I was eating my dinner / breakfast type thing.
Yeah.
And, go to sleep from the hours of like fucking 5-6 a.m. to I don't know 2 p.m. 1 p.m. something like that.
I was just saying it was around that time because I remember it was really hard to like get together with you during that time because I was full-time student, which meant I typically had classes from like 9 a.m. to like 4 p.m. because I was a science major and I had labs that were like 4 hours long.
Yeah.
And in between that, I had classes. And then I also was I wasn't working at that time. I quit my job.
Well, also during the summer, were you there during the summer or no?
No, I think I went home. No, I moved to Florida that summer.
Yeah. So for the first like 3 months, something like that.
3 months.
You weren't there. So,
yeah.
But around what, August, September or something like
that? Like mid to late August.
Yeah.
I came back. Yeah.
And I was in the hospital in August, the end of August.
It had to have been before then, because I saw you at least. I must have come back up early August then, because I saw you at least once.
It was either end of August or early September.
Probably early September that you.
Because I moved back home in October.
Yeah.
and I was out of work for 2 weeks, or no, 2.5 weeks. So, and I came back to work. I still gave them a 2 weeks notice too. So it had, I don't know. I feel like it was August.
I don't know. Then maybe I came back earlier and just don't remember.
I don't know, but yeah. Anyways, but yeah. So working, 60 to 70 hours a week. Going to the gym was like a stress relief. Playing a game for about an hour was a stress relief. So, and then talking on the phone, since you were asleep during the times that I was coming home, I had another friend that lived back home that I would call on my way home from work, or on my way home from the gym, and talk to her. And, just talk about, depressing stuff about how I'm feeling and shit like that, basically. Um, but it was also a girl that I was like really into, and like she was chill with me, like, talking to her about it. And so it was like a little comfort type thing. Um, but which is also why I don't open up anymore. Like, I'm just like, nope, fuck this shit. Y'all have all these walls to break down if you ever want to get to know me. But yeah, so I would call her, um, talk to her about my problems and shit like that. I clearly wasn't doing therapy or any proper stress relief or any mental breaks or anything like that. I mean, literally, I I worked while I was sick, physically sick. Like, I had a temperature of 103, and and I was like, I'm not feeling too good, y'all. Like halfway through my shift, and they were like, "Yeah, you don't look too good. Let me like take your temperature real quick, because you really like you're not looking good at all." They like put the back of the hand, to the forehead type shit, and they were like, "Bro, you're fucking burning the fuck up. Go home. Like, what are you doing?
It's like, here, let
Take
me take your
tomorrow off.
temperature.
Anything."
It's like the whole like, let me take your temperature real quick, bitch.
I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? I'm like, I'm chill. They were like, nah, go the fuck home. We need you, but we don't need you that bad, bro. Like, you need help.
We don't need a living corpse that
Yeah, like,
badly.
I was just like, but I need the money. I definitely didn't need the money. That's the thing. Like, I was making a shit ton of enough to pay my bills and get groceries and all this other stuff, and have like taking trips and shit like that, and still had plenty left over. I didn't have anything else to do, so that's why I was basically working myself to death.
Yes.
um and so yeah, that happened. And then there was one night, um because they had told me like to just stay home, so I stayed home for a day, and then like I found I was bored as fuck,
No shit.
and on how alone that I was just like, I'm like so fucking ready to just be done. Like, I feel like I'm losing my family. I feel like I'm losing friends. I feel like I'm just stuck
You were the
in.
definition of, if I'm alone, the dark thoughts come in.
Yeah, which is why I used to like they used to not be there. Like, they would still be there, but like I would always distract myself from them by sticking myself around people. I used to be a very social person. I no longer am. Like, I don't like going out. I don't like partying. I used to love to go out to parties. I loved going to the bars. I loved going to clubs. I loved hanging out with people, having a good time and all this other stuff. And then that happened, and I kind of just secluded myself from everything.
And this is just to point out something of, sometimes your happiest friends are struggling the
Yeah.
most,
Mhm. Yeah.
and using, and it's like weird to say this in a way, but I mean, I was the same way. when I got really low. It's you use them as like
distractions. You just
not even just distractions, but how like a drug addict will like use drugs
so
or
for the
alcohol
serotonin and shit
as
like that.
yeah. It
Yeah.
kind of becomes like an addiction in a sense of like
Mm-hmm.
if I don't have this, I have no idea how I'm gonna survive. And so you're like
Yeah.
constantly trying to get to like the next like gathering almost.
Mm-hmm. Like I don't like the quiet so much sometimes that I hate it when there's nothing on in my room.
Same.
Like I need some kind of noise. If it's just background noise of somebody watching or playing a game or just a TV show that's on it, as long as it's blocking out whatever thoughts there are. Like
I'm
granted,
the
I
same
know
way.
I need help. I know I do. I can't afford that though right now. I can't. And it's gotten like don't get me wrong, my depression has gotten a lot better
Can we just
from
talk about
that
how
time.
fucked the American healthcare system is though, that it has to be said that like I know that I need help, but I can't afford it.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm on Medicare too. So like the state pays for my health insurance. And I still like but those therapists usually aren't good.
No.
They're usually like I had a therapist fall asleep on me. Yeah. My therapist fell asleep on me. And I'm
My
just like,
psychiatrist like refused to like had one conversation with me and told me that all of my diagnoses were wrong and then
mm,
wanted to diagnose me with what is it? The identity disorder.
multiple personality disorder,
It's not called that anymore.
schizophrenia.
Not schizophrenia. No, it's not called multiple personalities anymore.
It's not.
No. Dissociative identity disorder.
Oh yeah. Got you.
Yeah, he told me that I had DID after one conversation, and I was like, no.
Mm-mm.
I might have some voices going on in my head,
Yeah.
but they're not like different
They don't take
personalities.
control over you or anything like that.
No.
Like
Like,
you're still in control of everything.
is
But I
it
feel
not?
like that's also like a whole entire like it's your like I don't know.
I
I
feel
was
like
gonna say it's
everybody
kind of
has
like
like the
morals.
subconscious that like they have conversations with, no?
I have a conversation with myself all the time in my head.
But don't you have like multiple different like thingies?
Usually it's like a different version of myself. But it's like
Yeah.
I still hear my voice, but it's like if I was a different like version of me. So
I
like
know mine can change voices.
like if you I don't know if mine can change voices
I
because
think it's
I
also
think
because
I'm
like
just used to hearing my voice.
I don't
Because
know.
sometimes when we're playing back these videos, I don't recognize that as my voice.
Yo, that's even though I can't even like edit these videos without having something else on in the background.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah,
I
that's
can't I
same.
can't read a book without having something else in the. I literally also have.
I mean, I don't have anything on right now, but that's mainly because I don't want background noise for this like recording.
No, yeah,
That's it.
but it's
But
like usually I always have something on in the background.
yeah, like
Like
this
there's
just so much stuff. Like I just don't like it's quiet is like as sad as this sounds, quiet is fucking scary as hell.
the quiet is the worst thing.
Yeah. Like even white noise is better than no noise. Like something.
I have to go to sleep with like sound. I can't go to sleep alone, like in the dark. Like my thoughts like get really, really messed up.
Hmm. I
Like,
literally have woken up crying
same.
because my TV is turned off. And I'm just like
I
I
have
know
to
my
turn it back
brain.
on. I don't care if I'm blinding
Yeah.
myself. I don't care if I wake Lonnie up. Like I can't do it.
Like it's gotten to the point where like as and I'm sure this is gonna like deter a lot of people from ever fucking talking to me. It's gonna deter a lot of prospects ever. But like it gets to the okay, actually I think if I had somebody with me, it'll be whatever. Like even if the volume's low, you can still fall asleep, I feel like. But like it's gotten to the point that I've woken up crying because of the fact that like my TV had turned off, so my brain activated a fucking like nightmare basically for me.
Yep.
And like just kills everybody in there except for me, and I'm still alone in the fucking dream. Or people just abandon me or anything like that. And I'm just like, I know I have problems, but like
Can we not?
let's not do this right now. I'm just trying to sleep. And that's it. And that's also why I don't get a lot of sleep. Like I think
Same.
that's like I have bad insomnia, but like at the same time, I'll go to sleep, but like I'll sleep for like 3-4 hours and that's it. Like
And then you'll wake up.
it wakes me up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I know we were talking about like hospital and shit like that, but that's just now the mental stuff.
Okay, but anyways, so you ended up.
Yeah. So after all the stress and all the like, I wasn't giving myself any fucking breaks basically. It got to the point where I had a free day where I'm by myself and I wrote letters. I'm not gonna lie. I wrote letters. It was final
I did not
notes.
get written a letter.
First of all, I wasn't gonna start with the letters that were gonna take the longest. So my family letters, didn't write those first. I did not write any friends letters. I wrote letters to acquaintances first because I was like, you know what, if I'm gonna get everybody, I'm gonna get everybody. You know, I'm just like, so I wrote it to like people I hadn't like talked to in a while, but I'm sure would still miss me if I was gone type situations. So like you remember do you remember me having a friend named Dominic?
Yes.
Yeah, so how him and I used to be like hella fucking close in high school and like a little bit after high school, but then we kind of just dropped off after each other. Yeah, so I wrote him a letter. I wrote the girl that, you know, was helping me through the whole situation a letter. I wrote, I don't know, maybe like 4 other letters. I don't want to talk about who they were to, but like families and like really good friends, those letters would have probably been like 5-10 pages. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like,
Listen, I'm gonna be completely honest with you.
don't be mad over it. At least
I'm not
actually
mad. I'm not actually mad. Like, I'm completely joking.
Yeah.
I don't think that I would have like been able to read that.
Probably not. I don't think my family would have been able to read their letters either.
I also think that I wouldn't be able to read it because I'd be in jail.
Probably. No, they probably would have still given it to you. It's a letter. It's not a fucking file or something to escape or anything like that. Like, I don't know.
I don't know.
But like,
actually, you know what? They would have had to find the body.
But what? My body or the other person's body? Huh?
The person's body.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. I mean, so here's the thing. All right. Because I had written letters, and then I told her that I had written the letters, and I'd also told her that I had like 5 different ways to just myself.
I also want to preference this with at this time he was also texting me a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
And I was growing very concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Like to the point where I reached out to someone that like I had told myself I would never speak to again.
Yeah, but also, see, here's the thing. That's why you weren't there. You remember? Because you were like, I wasn't there at the time, so I need to text him.
Yeah, that's what
so
it
you
was.
Weren't there. So we had seen each other before you had moved to Florida that summer. That's when we had seen each other. So
you hadn't gone to the hospital yet, though, when I came back. Because if you remember correctly, because we talked about this afterwards, that
you did, like, gumbo or something, didn't you? Or no, you didn't make.
Huh?
You didn't make gumbo. You didn't make. What'd you make? You had
I
made
didn't.
food, I thought, and I came over to eat some.
Yeah, I had made food and you had come over, but also, sweet. I told you about this and you go, oh, this is what he was talking about. Remember, I told you like a few years ago when we were discussing this that I told him again like that I was like that I was like blowing up his phone worried about you. Like blowing me off again. And I texted him and I basically had said something along the lines of, if I wake up and DJ is not here, I'm coming after you. And he replied back with, oh, you'll need to find, like, you don't know where I live. And I texted him his full address and his car.
Oh my God. Oh, and that's when he was just like, this girl's crazy.
Yes.
I do remember that.
Yes.
He was saying that to me. He's like, yo, get your fucking friend because she's fucking crazy. I'm like, what happened? She's like,
and he wouldn't tell you.
Did you tell her? Like, what? But not like, that's wild, bro.
I was not playing.
Mm-mm.
Like, all of my friends on campus knew that, like, I was, like, close to, like, losing it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I remember, because we were all moving. I had to move back early for sorority stuff. I moved in back earlier for sorority stuff and everything. So I was mainly with my sisters. And the ones that I were close with, like, I hadn't told them, like, the extent of everything, but I said, I'm really worried about my friend to the point where I got in touch with my ex.
Mm-hmm.
And they had seen me go through my breakup and they were like, oh, this is serious.
Mm-hmm.
And some of my really, really close friends that were in a different sorority knew that, like, if something happened to you, they were probably never going to see me again. Type shit. Like, they were like, they had a game plan on how to get my pets out of my house. Like, they had like like, I need you to understand that it was a thing where I was like, I'm going to jail. Like, I had already come to terms with that. I was like, I'm going to jail. I'm not getting my degree and I'm going to jail.
To be fair, I did hide it pretty well from the people that were like seeing me every day. So he wouldn't have noticed like in person at all. Because I still was, like I said, I was still working out and still eating properly and everything like that.
I sent him our text messages.
I don't know. I mean, he's probably just like, he's just, I don't fucking know.
I don't know either, but here's my thing. I hadn't talked to him in almost a year at that point.
I might have just told him that it was just a low point that night or something like that. That's probably like.
But it wasn't just one night that I was blowing up his phone. It was like a month straight.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
That is between y'all. That is between.
I tried deterring it a lot. So I mean, like I said, like in person, because he would still see me and we'd go to the gym together. And he would see me still like giving advice to the dudes that we were helping with working out and all that stuff. I would still help them along. Him and I would have competitions on who can lift more. That's when I found out I could fucking do the whole entire leg press with like 600 pounds. I didn't tell anybody about the whole entire like multiple like ideas for what I could do. Except for that one girl. You didn't tell me
about the multiple ideas until after you were out of the hospital.
Yeah. I only told that one girl.
The letters until you were out of the hospital.
Mm-mm. I literally had only told that one girl. And so I'm like, I'm home. I'm chilling in my apartment. I'm telling her about the whole entire letters. I'm telling her about the like 5 different ways. She's like, hold on. Let me call you back in a second. And she calls my stepsister and just like, shut the fuck up. What's up? Yeah. She calls my stepsister She didn't know any of my sisters, so she calls my. But I had introduced my stepsister to her, because it was when she had like first moved here, and I was just like, okay, I'll introduce you to my friends, so that way you have some friends here, get you started, then do your thing. Since I'm no longer gonna be, down here, I'm like a 3-hour drive away.
Yeah.
So they became friends. So she hangs up the phone with me, calls my stepsister, tells her, shut the fuck up, put yourself on mute. I'm gonna call your brother back, and then merge the calls. And so she tells she does that, and then she was like, sorry, I had bad service. I needed to adjust, go somewhere else, something like that. And she's like, what was it that you were telling me about, like letters and all this stuff? And I'm like, so I tell her all this stuff again. I'm not going to tell you the ideas, and I'm not going to tell you what was in the letters, because I don't want to give any ideas out there.
And you've already told me this, and I don't want to hear it again.
But let's just say it was ways that, like I was trying to make sure I left like my little sister's insurance policies type shit. That's what it was. So yeah. So that happened. I guess my stepsister heard about it then at that time, and she heard about the letters and all that other stuff. And then like I'm chill after I like do all that. Like honestly, as fucked up as this is, and I'm not saying do it ever.
It helps
Like
you.
honestly, get help. Getting help is better. I just couldn't afford it. But writing the letters kind of like helped relieve some stress.
Yeah, it's therapeutic.
Yeah.
I wrote a lot of letters.
Yeah, like writing your feelings out definitely helps a lot.
Yeah.
But don't like don't do what I did.
No.
Don't do what I did, because it's not what you should do. Definitely get help. It's not worth it, not worth it to do what I did. But yeah, so they get off the phone, and it's the next day. I'm treating it like it's a normal day, and whole time they had gone to my house the next morning, or my family's house the next morning, and told my mom. And yeah, they told my mom, and my mom said to like my little sisters that they're gonna come visit me. Sid, I can't believe I said her name. My stepsister's in charge. While they're gone, and they go pick up one of my older sisters to because they let her know about it too, and they all drive up. But before that, they called the cops to do a wellness check on me, and I'm not at home at the time that they called the cops, because I'm at work. It's where I'm at. That's what I do. I go to work, and that's all I do. And so they were like, okay, is there any other place that he could be? And so they told them my job, and they said he could probably be there. So they go to my job, but while they're doing that, they call the company, and they're like, hey, is DJ at work? Like, is he there? And the company's like, we don't have this person on record. Like, they don't work here. Like, I'm just like, what? What are you talking about? He's been there for months. Like, what do you mean? He's not.
Wait, why did they not have you on record?
I think it's because I was still only there for like 3-4 months. So like, I had just gotten out of my probation period.
But they should still have a record of you.
Yeah, you would think, but I don't know. I think so. if they called the office side of the building, if they had called like the warehouse side of
Oh,
the
if they didn't
building,
call
they
the
might have
warehouse, then they
like
wouldn't have known. Yeah.
yeah,
So if they called, and I guarantee you the number is to the office building and
yeah,
not.
not the warehouse. So yeah. If they had called, if they could transfer the warehouse or something like that, they might have known. But yeah, so that freaked them the fuck out.
Just imagining your mom going, "What do you mean? What do you
What do you
mean?"
mean he doesn't work there? What's going on? But
So your mom's probably spiraling at this point.
yeah, and the cop gets there. She tells them to make a model of my car. So he sees my car in the parking lot.
Is it
So
your
it's all
current
good.
car, or
Clearly
was
he's
this
there.
still
Clearly
the?
I'm at work, you know.
Was it your current car, or was it
Yeah,
still
it's
the
my current car.
minivan?
It's
Oh,
my
okay.
current car. Yeah. And he comes in and not discreet at all. So he talks to my floor manager first. I see him and I'm like, I feel like I'm in trouble. He's looking at me a lot. I feel like I'm fucking in trouble. I'm like, I'm the only drug addict that's working here. Why am I the one that's scared right now? Like, what's going on? Why is he looking at me?
I'm not the only drug addict that's working.
No, I'm the only like one that's not a drug addict.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like I literally like I smoked cigarettes at the time. And that was it. Everybody else there fucking does drugs for sure. There was a few other people that had some worse fucking things that they did, but yeah, I don't want to go into that. But yeah, so like it's a bunch of fucking addicts that work there, and I'm like, why am I fucking afraid of this cop right now when I'm the one that does good compared to everybody else here? Why am I nervous? And
compared to everyone else here, I'm like a saint.
yeah, but shit, hold on. Actually, before this though, my mom calls me, or my mom is like, "Hey, we're coming up. Like, we're just gonna come visit you. We just wanted to see the house and all this other stuff." And I'm like, "Huh? Why are you coming up? What's going on? What do you mean?" Um, so I tell my manager I'm gonna fucking leave early. So that would have been bad too if the cop goes there and I'm not there. And they were like, all right, cool. As long as you can stay till like 6 or 8 or something like that. I don't remember what the cutoff was. I think it was like a 6 o'clock, maybe 7 o'clock. But because I was gonna go home, clean up my apartment, buy food, all that shit. So, you know, there's something to do. But no, he shows up before I'm able, like 30 minutes before I'm able to fucking go home. It's like, what's going on? What the hell is going on? My manager points to me. I'm like, fucking knew it was me. God damn it, what did I do? And he's just like, the cop's like, come over here. We need to talk. Come in. He's standing next to one of my coworkers, not my manager anymore. Next to one of my coworkers that's working on an assembly line, and immediately is just like, so I heard you were talking about like, and I'm like, there's a coworker right here. Why aren't you being discreet about this?
Okay, I'm just gonna point out that this is why I always say that cops should not handle mental health crises.
Like, what do you mean?
The tact in that.
I'm like, oh my God, can we go somewhere else to talk about this? Literally before I ever answer anything he says, I'm like, can we go somewhere else to talk about this? Because we're around so many people. And he's like, yeah, do you got a break room? I'm like, yeah, let's go this way. And we go to the break room. There's still fucking people in the break room too, even though all of us take a break at the same time.
I just need to tell you that after I found all of this out, I texted him and I said, I fucking told you so.
What the fuck, man? So
I'm pretty sure I was still blocked, so he never got it.
Probably, but I don't fucking know. But okay, so we go to the break room. He's like, "So I heard you wrote letters, and thought about like multiple different ways." I'm like, "What? What are you talking about? I don't even know what you mean." Like, nah. And he's just like, "No, your friend definitely like gave me detail for detail what you said." And I'm like, "What are you talking about again?" He's just like, just be honest. It's better if you're honest. I'm like, that was like weeks ago. Like it was definitely last night, but like that was weeks ago. I just had a really low like moment. And but I'm good now. I'm good. I'm straight. Like I'm good. I've been feeling great in all honesty. Been feeling fantastic, superb. Like, what do you want? Like he's just like, well,
Overplaying it.
yeah.
Overconfident.
I'm like, he's like, all right, well, you good if we just, go down to the hospital and like, get you like, just get a check at the hospital and make sure, the therapist and the psychiatrist and all that, whatever the fuck psychologist, whatever they are. Make sure you're clear. Make sure you're good. I'm like, all right, can I get my bag though? Like, cause I got like food and shit like that. And they're like, yeah, it's cool. We can go get your bag. So a bunch of my coworkers just see me leaving with a cop. Luckily, I'm not in handcuffs, so it doesn't look like I was arrested, I guess. But people still thought I was arrested. They thought, I want you to, okay. They thought that I was a drug lord from Baltimore. What are you talking about? What do you mean? I don't even come from Baltimore.
Completely off topic.
Mhm.
But I was at this house party once, and while we were at this house party, we all got evacuated because the house next to us was getting raided because they were heroin.
What the hell?
This is in Frostburg.
Bro, what the hell? What is wrong with Frostburg?
They were making heroin and like
I mean, Cumberland is like, so that makes sense. That kind of makes sense.
It does. We all got really scared because it's a house party, so we're all underage.
Yeah.
We're like, we don't care about alcohol. We don't care about any of that. No, like you need to leave.
We got something bigger going on next door.
They were basically like, you either leave now, or if the house next to you explodes, you all could die. And we were like, okay.
We're out.
The next morning, we looked at the news and it was a heroin den.
What the fuck, man? What the hell? Frostburg be wildin', bro. What the fuck? But all right.
Back on topic. Sorry.
Yeah. Takes me to the hospital. And, they're like, you need to change in the, the gown and shit like that. First of all, that should be cold, bro. Like, why do you gotta turn the AC all the way up, but have me backless gown down, bro? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
You got me cheeked up on a Thursday.
What the fuck, bro? I don't understand.
I think that we are all in agreement that those robes, one, could be more decent.
Yeah.
Without our entire back ends out.
Yeah, it'd be nice. I'd appreciate that.
Because on top of that, they make you get naked sometimes before putting that on. Like, completely.
Yeah.
So it's just...
I was like, I'm not getting naked in front of y'all.
It was just... It's just little hairy ass cheeks.
I'm just like, nope. 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 If y'all want to, like, send me to the bathroom, they were like, we just got to make sure you don't have any, like, like things, basically. Because you can't have, like, fucking string. You can't have laces. You can't, huh?
Did they make you squat and cough?
No. Nothing like that.
No. People thought you were arrested.
Yeah, people at fucking work thought I was arrested. Not the people at the hospital.
Anyways,
The people at the hospital knew it was a mental check. But because they were told ahead of time. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, so him picking me up, he could have been a little more discreet about it. But on the car ride over, he was a pretty nice guy. Like,
Both of them are nice. They just need
yeah,
more tact.
yeah. Like, I feel like he should have been aware that, there's somebody like not even 10 feet away from us before you say that. But yeah, so uh I was like, is there any way I can get out of here like tonight? Like at all. They were like, we're gonna do a check. We're gonna ask you a few questions in like a little bit. I'm kind of like heated because I'm like, bro, I got work. I can't lose this job. Like the fuck? Are y'all serious right now? Like what the hell is going on? And man, I'm so pissed with my family at that moment. I'm like, one, I'm pissed with the girl that I told all this to. And then I'm pissed with my family for putting me in this situation. I'm like, y'all could have came up before and talked to me before doing all this.
I was on the verge of calling too, though. I'm going to be completely honest with you.
Yeah.
I debated it multiple times.
Yeah.
Because I had tried talking to you.
Yeah.
So I was on that verge too. Like I had almost called.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was very close to calling, and then I found out that somebody did call and that you were taken, and I was really grateful.
Mm-hmm. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I understand why, why it was done. It's just like because they are 3 hours away and all that stuff. So like, who knows that's not enough time to get to me in time. If they were like minutes away, probably be different. They probably would have actually come over and checked on me. But considering I was a 3-4 hour drive away, yeah, they were like, nah, we're gonna do this whole wellness check because I think they had texted me first or something saying they were coming up, but because again up there service sucks.
It's horrible.
I never got them, so I think that's why the wellness call was checked or done. But yeah, so I'm angry with them, and I feel like I don't know. I feel the doctors, they were like, yeah, nah, you fucked up, bro. Your head's fucked up. We're gonna put you in the fucking like mental ward for a few bit, like for a few days, and it's so fucked up because I was not separated from any of the addicts. I was only with addicts. I was not with any mental patients. Yeah. Well, okay, no, never mind. I'm pretty sure there were a few mental patients, but most of the people that were in there were addicts. 100%. But considering the location, not that surprised. It's just, shouldn't that be a separate wing?
It usually is.
Like, or a separate floor or something?
It usually is.
So I was a little confused by that. Because my roommate literally checked himself in because he went on a week-long binger of just straight drinking. So he was trying to recover from a hangover, basically. Yeah. Dude never left his bed. Once. He might have gone to the bathroom, but that's about it. Like, he legit was there.
The doctors
Just
up
to
there
exist.
are just.
I was worried. I'm like, bro, I don't want to. I slept for maybe 2 hours every now and then. Like, don't get me wrong. I literally, I didn't join any group sessions. I didn't have to. I didn't. I talked to because I talked to the therapist one-on-one, like every day, like they had asked and all this other stuff. And I did the whole entire. I hung out with my mom and sister when they did the whole visitation thing, because you can only have 2 visitors, and then the whole entire like family fucking therapy session or whatever that was fucking wild. Like, because it was my mom, my stepdad, and then my older sister, Tyler, and his girlfriend at the time. Now wife. And they were there for about like 30 minutes to an hour before they had to leave because they had to go to work. I'm like, damn, must be nice to get out of here. You know, like, but
I'll be honest with you. If I had been there, I probably would have slapped you.
I don't think they would have allowed that.
Oh, no, I probably would have gotten taken down, but...
Yeah, they would have been like, nah. She's get the fuck out of here. We're actually going to press charges.
It's probably a good thing that I wasn't there. At that point, I was very angry with you.
Why me? Like, I'm the one going through all this. Fuck you.
I think I was angry because of the information that I had like found out.
Well,
I like how
around.
It wasn't just you that I was angry at. I was very angry at the time in general. One.
Yeah.
I was very, very angry at him.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's going to sound really fucked up, but I was angry at you for wanting to leave.
Why? I wanted to be relieved.
At that time, DJ, you were probably one of the only like solid people in my life.
Yeah.
That was a very fucking dark time for both of us.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know how bad my abandonment issues were.
Yeah.
Still are. And that like triggered the fuck out of them. And I was very pissed at you. And it sounds so fucking dumb now saying it out loud. But I was angry at you for wanting to leave me.
I get it. I mean, I understand what you mean. I was so done. I didn't care about how anybody else felt, basically. It's like they say, you know, it is a selfish act. Because, I mean, it is. But, like, at the same time, you don't know what they're going through. Like,
you don't. I mean...
You don't know what anybody's going through. So...
Exactly.
Like, you can say it's selfish, but
you don't
even know what kind of pain they were dealing with. Like, how much it probably felt like they were drowning. Yet, it might have looked like on the outside that they were perfectly fine.
I mean, if you look at videos and photos from like 2018 to 2019 of me, I probably look like one of the happiest people ever.
Mm-hmm.
That's a joke.
Yeah. I mean, I could literally pull up a photo from Facebook of one of my lowest points, but I looked so fucking happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm not I don't have that ready, so I'm not even gonna try to do that. But yeah, I was there for like 3-4 days, something like that. I think it was 3 nights, 4 days. That's what it was.
I don't think we talked again until you moved back down here.
Probably because you needed to calm down.
I think you
were focused on school, and you were pretty focused on school, I think.
I was focusing on school. I had the sorority. There was a lot going on in my personal life, but I also think that you had tried to reach out to me, and I flat out ignored you.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was still up there for a good month and a half, and I'm pretty sure you were there. And I was like, hey, do you want to like get together? And I think you were just like, no. No, I don't. Actually, I hate you. I don't think you said all that, but I mean,
I didn't say I hate you, but
No, I think you just made an excuse for what it was or something.
Yeah. Because
So,
like I said, like it's weird, but I was so angry.
mhm. But they gave me like 3 different types of drugs, where my depression, my anxiety, and then my insomnia. The insomnia one did not work at all.
So saying none of my sleep medicine has ever worked for me.
No, the depression one worked slightly, but like not enough. So I don't take that anymore. And then anxiety, I didn't even try that one because so it's crazy to think that they give you that once you leave, considering if you took the entire bottle, you would
Right?
immediately that
Right?
that like I'm gonna have to bleep out that stuff. I just realized
I
that.
would, yeah.
But yeah, like the fact that yeah, that's crazy to think that they give at-risk people all of those drugs.
Yep.
That's insane.
Right?
But I mean, so they say for a little bit they want you to be supervised. So like I went home with my my mom, stepdad, and then my sister. My sister and I drove back with my car because it's my car. I need my car. Um and but before all that, I had to talk to work and everything like that. Say like, hey, I was in a hospital for like the past few days. They said to be gone for like another 2 weeks. She was like very understanding. She was like, oh, you were about to work yourself to death. Yeah, we're gonna I think after that they started cutting back hours. They stopped doing as much overtime because they were like, oh, that would look bad.
No, because I remember it was like every single day was
Yeah.
overtime. And it wasn't like an hour or two, it was like 3 or 4 hours of overtime.
I worked 10 hours Monday, Thursday, or Monday through Friday, and then 8 hours Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah,
So,
that's what it was.
yeah.
Because I remember like when I was with him and he had that job, that it was
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
ridiculous how much he was working.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday were all overtime because
Yeah.
it was over the 40 hours, but like still like like they were like it's not mandatory, but they were like if you don't come, you're fired.
Yeah, I was going to say they were like it's not mandatory, but it was. Because I
And that's why I'm
remember
not putting I don't want to like don't get me wrong, company like they pay well, had great insurance and all that.
no,
It just
they paid enough without all the overtime
mhm,
that's why I had quit my job when we were
mhm,
still together, was that
yeah,
we would be able to afford what we were currently at still.
yeah. So
Wasn't that much, but that's neither here nor there.
yeah, I mean shit, my rent was like $650 a month. I
Yeah,
had a
it wasn't that
2-bedroom,
much.
1-bath apartment. Like I was sitting pretty over there. Literally, I was gonna I'm pretty sure I could have moved up pretty fast in the company. I just all that happened. And I was just like, nah, I can't do this. I'm sorry, y'all. Like after I came back, I worked there for about a week and then I was just like, I don't know how to do this, but I gotta put in my 2 weeks because I gotta
Yeah,
move back.
yeah.
So yeah. But that's my hospital story. As it took like an
Well,
hour to say
assuming
almost.
that we are at an hour and 36 right now,
Yeah.
gonna call it.
All right, that works. That works. Yeah.
I guess we should end the episode with just basically stating like I know it's already been said, and we talked about it a little bit
Hmm.
before DJ started talking, but there are hotlines out there that you can call.
Hmm.
There are friends out there that genuinely would rather hear you pour your heart out to
Hmm.
them than wake up one morning and hear that you're not with them anymore. Like
Yeah.
there's like, and I'm not even joking. Like that's I was at that point with DJ, so
Hmm.
it's very true, and we are very lucky that he's still with us right now.
Mm-hmm.
If not, I would be a very angry person still.
Nah, you would have gotten over it. Just joking. I'm just joking.
I was gonna say,
Like I said, joking is my coping mechanism.
I'm just saying, it took me how long to actually forgive you?
Let's see. It was back in 2019 that it happened. I don't think he started talking to me again really until like 2020, like halfway through 2020. So pretty far. Pretty long.
And you think I wouldn't still be
Yeah.
mad at you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you might still
It'd be
be.
a lot of mixed emotions, okay?
I think you'd be mad, but I feel like if I had like a gravestone, you'd still probably go visit or something like
Oh,
that.
100%.
Like I think you'd still be mad, but I think you'd be like, "Fuck you, bitch!" Like pour alcohol on my fucking gravestone.
Somebody would come and be like, why are you desecrating this gravestone? I'm not, it's my best friend.
Yeah. But yeah, like literally that whole 1-800 number. And then yeah, your friends, family. Honestly, uh there's even like places on Reddit. There's like groups and all that stuff that you can go through.
There's Facebook groups, there's
And you can
Reddit
be
groups.
anonymous
Yeah.
and talk about it, like anything. Anything to get help. I'm sure Twitter even does it. Twitter, Reddit, I'm sure Instagram.
There's somewhere, and listen, the healthcare system is not the best. And even when you do get in it, the therapists sometimes are.
Yeah.
You have to shop for your therapist.
Yeah.
And it sounds shitty, but trust me, when you find the right therapist, you will know, and it will make the world of a fucking difference.
Because, like I said, the therapist that I had fucking fell asleep on me. So.
But I mean, think about it. I went through like 4 therapists before I found the therapist that I had when I was going through all of that shit. Yeah. So, and I honestly think without her, I don't know where I would be right now. So, it's hard, but you can find the right therapist.
It'll just take some time, but just be patient with it. And I mean, really the first session with them is to, it's just to get to know each other.
Awkward. It's not the best. You're not going to jump into therapy and immediately start talking about all your issues and everything. Oh, and another good key factor to your therapist, if your therapist does not have a therapist, dump them.
Damn.
No, your therapist needs to have a therapist. Your therapist's job is to sit there and take on everyone else's shit.
Yeah, that's true.
And if they don't have somebody like a therapist to go to help them sort through that shit, goodbye.
That's a good point. It's a good point.
Yeah.
But
my therapist taught that little tidbit to me. Because
I
I asked her one day, so we were having a session, and I asked her a question, and she goes, I think I asked her, like, how do you deal with all of this? I was like, because I always, like, it's trauma dumping, essentially. And she goes, I have a therapist.
My therapist has a therapist. We kind of just go in a circle.
It's just like a giant thing of like circles.
Yeah.
She was like, I have a therapist, and that's how I deal with this. And I was like, huh. Okay.
That makes sense,
Okay. This has gone on for so long.
Yeah, it's all right. It'll be a long episode, but I mean,
Oh,
it'll be okay.
So that is episode 12 of You're Being Too Loud.
/13.
/13 if you're counting part 2 as its own separate episode.
I know it was a heavy topic today.
Yeah, the last like 3 weeks have been heavy topics.
Yeah.
Really we'll go back to Reddit stories after.
We'll go back to the fun, happy stories. That's funny, Like, we'll do those in a little bit. We just, wanted to get this stuff out of the way. It's a better way to get to know us, too.
Huh? I
It's
mean,
a better
yeah,
way to get to know us.
you can get to know us. I mean, really, the podcast is just kind of whatever we
Mhm.
want it to be. We wanted to talk about this stuff for the next like few weeks, but we will be going back to your regular Reddit stories after this.
Mhm. Yeah.
All right.
Mhm.